Welcome to Divine Hand for another soulful, insightful, spiritual message. Take or resonate, leave with us and collective. I pre-pulled some cards for our convenience, and with that being said, let's get started. So I pre-pulled some oracle cards, okay, and some tarot to go with it, and we're gonna jump right into it, okay. So the first card reads, "Respect yourself enough to walk away when needed," okay. And so what that's saying to me is, walk away from things, energies that don't respect you the way you respect yourself, okay, plain and simple, okay. um you having that self-worth, okay, regarding your self-respect, okay. When you have that for yourself, then others will have it for you, okay, is what I'm getting. Now we pulled the Seven of Wands with that. And so the Seven of Wands is basically saying, like, stand your ground, okay. Defend your position, your values, your truth, right, when you're challenged, okay. So this is like self-respect, healthy boundaries, okay, choosing what is worth defending, right, being refused to be pushed around into compromising or portraying yourself, okay. So basically, this is what this is saying. The Seven of Wands is saying is this worth my energy, right? If this costs your peace, your dignity, your self-worth, you need to walk away, okay? So self-respect doesn't mean always fighting, right? Sometimes it just means you choosing not to fight, okay? Now, the next card reads, your energy is precious, so defend it, okay. So what I'm getting for that is, um your energy is very healing, right, and you're needing to protect that energy, okay, your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, right, you're needing to, because it's precious, all right. It's not like that type of energy that comes a dime a dozen, okay. And so spirit is saying, right, there is a need to defend that, right. And so we want to be careful with who we choose to be around, and so that's why the Seven of Wands is there, okay. Who we choose to stay around, right, who we choose um to walk away from, okay. um because we need to be in the energy of protecting what is most valuable to us, and that's ourself, okay. Now, the card I pulled for that was the Nine of Wands, okay. And so this is like mental anguish, right. This is like mental exhaustion, okay, anxiety, overthinking, guilt, right. This is intrusive thoughts, okay. Losing sleep, okay, because something is draining you emotionally or mentally, right. So this is basically saying your anxiety is a signal, not a weakness, right. So when you're thinking heavily about something, this is a sign that you need to defend your energy. Something is going on around you that you need to take a look at, right. So the Nine of Swords basically reveals where your energy has been leaking, okay. um through worry, right, through emotional over attachment, or taking responsibilities for others' emotions, okay. So defend your mind, your peace, and your emotional space, okay. um so maybe someone is causing you stress, a situation you can't control, right? Old guilt, regret, fear-based thinking, okay. So it's about you're being called to set your mental and your emotional boundaries, okay, and not just the physical ones, okay. And that's what I'm getting for this. This is saying, right, that spirit is highlighting that peace is sacred. You are not meant to suffer mentally, okay, but to um prove you're not meant to suffer mentally to prove loyalty, love, or responsibility is what I'm getting. Okay. And so the last one is your spirit team is proud. You broke some generational patterns. Okay. And so, what that's saying to me altogether is this is a story of conscious liberation, stability, and earned authority. Okay, spiritual authority is what I'm getting, right? And so, it's saying that you did what others, before you couldn't do, okay, or wouldn't do, all right. And so, not through chaos, you did this not through chaos, but through awareness, restraint, and discipline, okay. um so the tarot card we have with that is the Tower upright, okay? And so and this is reversed, okay? So this shows breaking cycles without repeating destruction, okay? This is generational patterns often repeated through explosive endings, trauma, or collapse, right? The Tower reverse is choosing healing instead of chaos, right? You interrupted a cycle before it destroyed you, okay? Your spirit team is so proud of you because you stopped the fall instead of reenacting it. Okay. Then we have the devil card upright, okay? And see, this is representing them ancestral chains, okay? The addictions, the control dynamics, the codependency, survival-based beliefs about money, love, or power, right? And so pulling the devil upright here, right, is basically saying you recognize the patterns instead of denying it, right? Awareness alone is a generational breakthrough, okay? You saw the chain of the cage, right? And you chose to not live in it. That is so beautiful, okay? So the next card we pulled was the Four of Wands. And this is like that new foundation that you're building, right? This is stable. This is safe. This is peaceful home energy, okay? Emotional security. Where the devil shows bondage, right? The Four of Wands shows the freedom through that structure. Okay, so you didn't have to break a pattern, you replaced it with something healthier. Oh my God, that's so nice right there. That is beautiful. God, thank you. And so the next card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. And this speaks of that material and emotional maturity, right? The responsibility, the response of leadership, okay? This is financial wisdom, long-term thinking, right? So those generational traumas often showed up as instability, right? So you chose consistency over survival method, okay? You are becoming, or you have became the provider of a safe rather than chaos, okay? Is what I'm getting here, right? Then we have the Knight of Swords, okay, upright. And so this is speaking on that clear thinking, that truth over emotions, right? Ending denial, right? Um, so this like cuts through the family narrative. Like they just, this is just how we are, we know that's not just how we are. That's dysfunctional, right? You have to endure it. No, you don't. Right? Nothing ever is going to change. It will change if you be the change. Okay. And so your spirit team is celebrating you, okay, with this card, okay? You broke cycles consciously and not unconsciously. And so the big message here is that you are becoming a pattern breaker, right? A stabilizer, a truth teller. Okay. And so the end message that I'm getting here is that your spirit team is so proud of you because you chose awareness over denial, right? And you didn't have to just heal yourself, you changed the lineage. Oh my God. Okay, and I know that's hitting me heavy because I've been through some things, collective, okay, and I know you have too. And so spirit is just acknowledging that what you've been through is not in vain. And with that being said, thank you for listening.